Born into a world of immense power and political intrigue, Caesarion, the son of Julius Caesar and Cleopatra, was destined for greatness. His very existence threatened the ambitions of those who sought to inherit Caesar's legacy. As a child, he was shielded within the opulent palaces of Egypt, learning the arts of kingship and strategy from his mother. However, the tides of fate began to turn with Caesar's assassination and the subsequent power struggles in Rome. Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, emerged as a formidable contender, viewing Caesarion as a direct challenge to his claim. The whispers of Caesarion's lineage spread throughout the Roman Empire, fueling both hope and fear among its citizens. As Octavian consolidated his power, Caesarion became more than just a symbol. He was a rallying point for those who opposed Octavian's rule. Cleopatra, ever the astute strategist, recognized the danger. She knew that Caesarion's safety was paramount to maintaining their dynasty. Thus, she fortified their defenses and sought alliances with sympathetic rulers. But Octavian's gaze never wavered from Egypt. He saw Caesarion as the last vestige of a rival legacy, a threat that needed to be extinguished to secure his dominion. The conflict between Octavian and Antony deepened, culminating in the Battle of Actium. With Antony and Cleopatra defeated, Egypt fell under Octavian's control. Caesarion's fate was sealed. Octavian, now the undisputed ruler of Rome, could not allow Caesarion to live and potentially challenge his authority. He understood the power of symbols and the enduring appeal of Caesar's name. To eliminate any future claim, he resolved to eliminate Caesarion. Caesarion, now a young man, was captured while attempting to flee to India. His dreams of kingship were shattered. He was brought before Octavian, a shadow of his former self. Octavian, cold and calculating, pronounced the death sentence. The execution of Caesarion marked the end of an era. With Caesarion gone, Octavian's path to absolute power was clear. The last direct heir of Julius Caesar was no more. His death served as a stark warning to any who dared to question Octavian's authority. The name of Caesarion faded from public memory, buried beneath the weight of Octavian's propaganda. Yet, the story of Caesarion remains a poignant reminder of the ruthless political machinations that shaped the Roman Empire. He was a pawn in a game of power, a child born into a world that ultimately consumed him. His tragic end underscores the human cost of ambition and the fragility of power in the face of political expediency. The echoes of his brief life resonate through the corridors of history, a testament to the enduring legacy of Julius Caesar and the tragic fate of his only son. The sands of time have covered much of his story, but the whispers of his name still linger. A prince, a symbol, a victim of circumstance. Caesarion's memory serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the price of power and the cost of ambition. His life, though short, was a testament to the turbulent times in which he lived, a time of great upheaval and change. And though his reign never came to fruition, his story continues to captivate and intrigue. A child of destiny, a victim of fate, Caesarion, forever etched in the annals of history. His legacy, though tragic, endures, a reminder of the fleeting nature of power and the enduring power of a name. The whispers of Caesarion's lineage had spread, but now Octavian's rise to power marked the beginning of Caesarion's tragic downfall. Recognizing the threat posed by the young heir, Octavian launched a relentless campaign to discredit and eliminate him. Caesarion's allies dwindled as Octavian's influence grew, leaving him increasingly isolated and vulnerable. Despite Cleopatra's desperate attempts to protect her son, the Roman forces relentlessly closed in on Egypt. The once impenetrable defenses of Alexandria began to crumble under the weight of Octavian's assault. Cleopatra, realizing the gravity of their situation, prepared for a final stand, her heart heavy with the impending doom. With the fall of Alexandria, the queen chose death over humiliation, ending her life rather than surrendering to Rome. Mark Antony, her loyal general and lover, followed her example, leaving Caesarion orphaned and alone in a collapsing kingdom. Caesarion's fate was sealed the moment his mother and her ally fell. He was now a pawn in Octavian's ruthless game, hunted and betrayed by those who once swore fealty to his mother. He was captured while attempting to flee to safety. The young king, barely a teenager, was no match for the seasoned Roman soldiers who dragged him back to Alexandria. Octavian, cold and calculating, saw in Caesarion not a boy but a symbol of a dynasty he sought to erase. He convened a mock trial, the outcome predetermined, to legitimize his decision to eliminate the last vestige of Caesar. Accusations of treason and conspiracy were hurled at the defenseless boy, each word a nail in his coffin. The sentence was swift and merciless. Death. Caesarion, the son of Caesar and Cleopatra, was to be executed, his life extinguished to secure Octavian's future. On Octavian's orders, Caesarion was led away to a quiet corner of Alexandria, far from the cheering crowds. There, a Roman centurion awaited, his face grim, his duty clear. With a swift stroke, the centurion ended Caesarion's life, silencing the last true heir of Julius Caesar. His death was a sacrifice made to ensure the stability of the Roman Empire under Octavian's iron rule. The news of Caesarion's execution spread quickly throughout the empire, solidifying Octavian's position as the sole ruler. Some mourned the loss of the young king, while others celebrated the end of a potential rival to Roman power. Octavian, now known as Augustus, went on to establish a long and prosperous reign, shaping the course of Roman history. Caesarion's story, however, remained a poignant reminder of the ruthless nature of power and the tragic consequences. It was a reminder of political ambition, where even the innocent could be sacrificed for the sake of securing a throne. His brief life, filled with both privilege and peril, served as a cautionary tale for generations to come. The echoes of his existence resonated through the annals of history, a testament to the enduring legacy of Caesar and Cleopatra. Though his life was cut short, Caesarion's memory lived on, a symbol of lost potential and the ever-present dangers of power. His story serves as a poignant reminder of the ruthless nature of power. It also serves as a reminder of the tragic consequences of political ambition. The young Caesarion, barely more than a boy, found himself caught in a web of political intrigue. His every move was scrutinized, his every word analyzed for any hint of rebellion or defiance. Octavian's spies were everywhere, their eyes and ears constantly searching for any weakness in Caesarion's defenses. Even those who had once been loyal to Cleopatra now turned their backs on her son, seeking favor with the new ruler. The once vibrant court of Alexandria became a place of fear and suspicion, where trust was a luxury few could afford. Caesarion yearned for the days when he could roam freely through the palace gardens, dreaming of a bright future. But those days were gone, replaced by the harsh reality of his precarious position. He knew that his life hung by a thread, and that Octavian would not hesitate to cut it. The weight of his lineage, once a source of pride, now felt like a crushing burden. He was the son of Caesar, the last vestige of a dynasty that Octavian was determined to destroy. As Octavian consolidated his power, Caesarion's options dwindled, and escape seemed like the only viable path. He gathered a small band of loyal followers and prepared to flee Alexandria, hoping to find refuge in a distant land. But Octavian's forces were relentless in their pursuit, closing in on Caesarion and his companions. The young king's hopes for freedom were dashed as he was captured and brought back to Alexandria in chains. The trial that followed was a mere formality, a charade designed to legitimize Octavian's predetermined verdict. Caesarion stood before his accusers, his head held high despite the accusations hurled at him. He knew that his fate was sealed, but he refused to show any sign of weakness or fear. Octavian watched with cold detachment as the sentence was pronounced, his eyes betraying no emotion. He saw in Caesarion not a person, but an obstacle to his ambition, a threat to his power. With the trial concluded, Caesarion was led away to his execution, his steps firm and unwavering. The streets of Alexandria were lined with silent onlookers, their faces a mixture of pity and fear. Some whispered prayers for the young king, while others turned away, unable to bear witness to his tragic end. At the execution site, Caesarion faced his executioner with courage and dignity. He accepted his fate with a quiet resolve, knowing that his death would mark the end of an era. As the blade fell, Caesarion's life was extinguished, but his memory would live on in the hearts of those who remembered him. His death served as a stark reminder of the price of power and the tragic consequences of political ambition. Octavian's victory was complete, but it came at a great cost. He had eliminated his rival, but he had also sacrificed a young life on the altar of his ambition. The ghost of Caesarion would forever haunt his reign, a constant reminder of the ruthless choices he had made. And so, the story of Caesarion ends, a tragic tale of a young king who was born to rule but died a victim of political intrigue. His life was short, but his legacy would endure, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. The fall of Alexandria marked not only the end of Cleopatra's reign, but also the beginning of the end for her son. With his mother gone, Caesarion was left vulnerable, a lamb among wolves in the treacherous world of Roman politics. Octavian saw in him a potential threat, a symbol of the old order that he sought to replace with his own. The whispers of Caesar's bloodline fueled Octavian's paranoia, driving him to eliminate any possible challenge to his rule. Caesarion's youth and inexperience were no match for Octavian's cunning and ruthlessness. The young king was hunted relentlessly, his every move shadowed by Roman spies and assassins. He sought refuge in Egypt, hoping to rally support from his mother's loyal subjects. But Octavian's grip on power was too strong, and Caesarion's efforts were ultimately futile. Betrayed by those he trusted, Caesarion was captured and brought before Octavian to face his judgment. The trial was a mere formality, a show of justice designed to mask Octavian's true intentions. Caesarion was accused of treason and conspiracy, charges that were as baseless as they were deadly. The sentence was swift and merciless: death, a final act of political expediency. Caesarion, the last hope of a fallen dynasty, was led to his execution, his fate sealed by Octavian's ambition. His death marked the end of an era, the final chapter in the tragic story of Caesar and Cleopatra's legacy. With Caesarion gone, Octavian's path to absolute power was clear, and he would go on to shape the destiny of Rome. But the memory of Caesarion would linger, a reminder of the human cost of political ambition. His story would be told and retold, a cautionary tale of power, betrayal, and the tragic fate of a young king. The sands of time may have buried the details of his life, but the echoes of his existence still resonate today. Caesarion's name remains etched in the annals of history, a symbol of lost potential and the enduring legacy of Caesar. His brief reign, though marked by tragedy, serves as a reminder of the ever-present dangers of unchecked power and the importance of protecting the innocent from the machinations of those who seek to control the world. Caesarion's downfall is a lesson that should not be forgotten. His story is a reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of memory.